Yo, what's good? It's your boy Buzby and locked into BERMEDIA Vote.
I see you rocking Jungle Paradise. Is that your own label?
Well, like I'm gonna have to take this all the way back to like me and my boy Swift, Glenn. Basically, like in the time where this kind of came from was like my boy stayed in Somerset, right, and he got a job at Tucker's Point, and I just stayed that was Hill. So you could imagine he ride from Somerset to Tucker's Point every morning, and my brethren just got a job, you know what I mean, down there. It's just like, it was an opportunity. And it's like, yo, bro, can I crash there from, like, you know, to make it easier to get there, you know what I mean? So we guys was just creatively coming up with a lot of stuff. Basically what this was just for like, visually, like Jungle Paradise was just like, it looked visually pleasing, you know what I mean? Like, we was thinking about music, but it didn't really make sense until now, like, with the music. But as far as like, it was birthed sometime in that when he had that job, because we was just always creating new music or things like new ideas, you know what I mean? We was just inspiring each other off of that. But as far as the jungle, it's just like I said, nature really inspired me, and like I have like places like this, it's everywhere, you know what I mean? Even my backyard is a jungle, you know what I mean? So that environment that he was in and I was in, like just inspiring each other, we was basically like came up with Jungle Paradise, you know what I mean? But then I created this song. This was something totally different. Created this song called Jungle Paradise, which was just a story about, truthfully, just the jungle, you know what I mean? And how I could say a young man in the jungle gets his life taken, and eventually he just really wanted to reach the paradise in his mind, basically, you know what I mean? So that's what this song was about. But it became an oxymoron for life. Like, it's, if you look at it, it's two Bermudas, you know what I mean? Like, it's a whole environment of a jungle of people that live as if they're in a jungle, and there's people that live in a paradise. Like, but what I'm trying to do is just kind of put the dash in between them. Like, it's still one, you know what I mean? It's not, I don't want to look at it as like it's two. I want to kind of fuse them together and show that if it's a shift here, it's a shift here. Like, we can't live like it's two. We shouldn't live like we're parted, you know what I mean? Because at this point we are. So it's an oxymoron for life. Like, but as far as like creating it, like me and Swift, we kind of just came up with the. I kind of came up with the Coogee print in the back, because it kind of like had like a jungle feel to it. But like the original one, then it was just the name, you know, because it looked clean, like how it looks regular. It just looked clean, like, and me and bro was just like, yo, bro, that shit's clean, like, you know what I mean? He was just sitting on it, still sitting on it to this day. But like, it just became a message, like something bigger than itself, like, you know what I mean? That was birthed from just pure energy, like pure creative energy, you know what I mean? But yeah, it was wicked. But that's what kind of Jungle Paradise means, you know? Like I said, like it's a paradise. Like we look at Bermuda as just a paradise, but so many people don't see it as a jungle. So that's why jungle's bigger than paradise, you know what I mean? So paradise is kind of like, we know it's a paradise. We don't have to, we want to show you that it's still a jungle, but, because I come from the jungle. I don't come from like, we all come from paradise, like, but like we all don't live like we come from paradise, you know what I mean? We all get to see the paradise, we get to see the views, we get to see the nature that people come to visit, but we don't live like we do, you know what I mean? We almost neglect it, we ignore it, it's hard, you know what I mean? When you have, like you said, this struggle like we was talking about earlier, it's hard for certain things to kind of like coexist, but we're just here to say, let's just embrace both instead of just saying it's just one, you know? I could go on and on about this.
Yeah, that's good there.
Yeah.
I like these shirts, to be honest.
Yeah.
I really like them. You guys ain't got them in stores?
Nah, we're working on that. It's supposed to be at brick and mortar soon.
Okay.
If it was to go through, but yeah, right now it's a possibility if you're interested. Right now it's just branding, you know what I mean? Like, we want to get that in people's heads. Like right now, shout out Swift is working on like something that's instead of Jungle Paradise, it's just heritage. You know what I mean? But it's each letter is in a different color, as if like the pastel colors. So it's just visually pleasing, and then it's concepts. Like we like to be deep with everything. So like as far as even fashion, like even how we move and what we rock. 441 Wave, shout out Benji. We just kind of like put in like local things into perspective, like in a bigger picture, like, you know what I mean? But yeah, so it's gonna be good. It's gonna be something that's gonna grow on us as well, because the name itself has.
You set a high bar standard in your music. Who influences your music?
I'll say I'm influenced by every kind of genre of music. Like I think music inspires me, life inspires me. But as far as like hip hop, I'll say like artists like Nas, Andre 3000, definitely J. Cole, definitely Drake. But then I have R&B that I'm influenced by as well. You have like Erykah Badu. It gets deep, like, but I learned to always have multiple influences of music. Like I could sit all day and name artists that influenced me in some sort of like manner. But for the most part, I think like any music kind of inspires me. But those are some of my biggest influences in music.
That's cool. So some of your biggest influences are people respected for not really doing mumble rap or anything like that. It's real hip hop. So what are your thoughts on hip hop now versus hip hop back then?
I think substance has always been like a big determining factor of if it's important to me or not, because like it's about the message. It was never really about, I mean, to be honest, music's music. I just use it for what it is. But what inspires me per se is that substance music. But yeah, I think the substance kind of the best thing. I think music changes like every 5 years. Like if you look at how 90s went to 2000s to where it is now, like all these had influences on each other, like, you know what I mean? So where we're at right now, it just speaks on where the average mindset is right now. That's all it speaks on. It doesn't mean that we don't have real artists that give substance or are influenced by substance. It just means that the average mindset right now, it doesn't mean it can't change, which it can, like, but it just means that's where everybody's at, like the average mindset, I should say, like, which means it's just a fast-paced world, you know what I mean? So we do fast-paced things, like everybody's not really, they don't have really musical backgrounds anymore. It's just like, oh, I've been rapping for 2 years and I like it because it's a wave, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's just the average mindset. Like they want to do what's popping. So if that's popping, whatever's popular, they will do. You know what I mean? So music being popular, they do it. But it doesn't mean the musicians. And I can't take away from them, because at the same time, you can still grow from that and be a better artist. But like I said, everything inspires people differently, like, but that's not my inspiration, you know?
Yeah. Do you think hip-hop's caused an increase in crime? I mean, even in Bermuda, where we're highly influenced by the U.S. hip-hop scene?
That gets a little tricky, because I think crime will always exist. It existed before music. Music could save it. Music could make it worse. It's really about the message, you know what I mean? That's all it is. Because you could have a song that makes you want to deter from crime. You could have a song that makes you want to be into crime. So really, it's not really the music, it's the message that's in the music. That's what we're really getting down to, you know? See, I could only speak for myself, and what I would do is change a mindset or change somebody to not think that way or not want to think that way. But it's still inevitable, you know?
Yeah. That's why it's good to have rappers like you who like to send a message.
Yeah,
for real.
Definitely.
What did it take for you to get where you are now? Because I'm sure it was a struggle. I see you with NFR, that's No Future Records.
Yeah.
I also seen you with Jelani back in the day when you was younger.
Well, that started when I was 16. It was pretty much like the only studio that was available. It was No Future, and I went to him. This was back when I was just on YouTube beats. Well, it was more or less like old school beats that I was finding on YouTube, like Ninth Wonder beats. All of that, I was really into that, and I had come up with a whole mixtape, a whole playlist of music, and I didn't have much money because it was $50 an hour. I was only still young. I went there and I was just doing like 2 or 3 tracks in like an hour. Then next day, or next week I should say, come back, do like another 3 tracks. And there's 12 tracks, so that's like 3 studio sessions, you know what I mean? Like, or even more, like, but basically, I was just hustling. That was, and they saw my drive and they was like, yeah, like, we want to work with you. So, I ended up working with them. They did a few videos. Actually, what started it was me working with Lonnie, with BERMEDIA, and then that took off, and then basically we just worked together more often. But as far as where I am now, that wasn't really the best thing for me at that time, because that would have like, I wasn't ready for that I should say. Like, if that opportunity presented itself now, it would be different, but at the time there was like talking percentages of something that like I wasn't ready for, you know what I mean? It was just too much at the time. And I don't think the industry was ready for, like, we was doing videos that's probably still visually better than what's being done today, you know what I mean? But it's just, it was a learning lesson. It put me on like, it put me that I have a lot to learn before situations like that could work for me, I should say, you know? Yeah. But it definitely helped me build as an artist. But as far as the struggle in music, like the day-to-day prices of things like that, that's a different scenario, because people basically like inflate the price because it is the richest city, of course. It is certain, like, the price of living's higher, so people want to get paid more. It is a struggle to exist. That shows you why Bermudians don't believe in musicians, because it's so hard for us. Like, it's so few of us that's gonna keep pushing and pushing that they're like, oh, well, nobody's making it. Then you have one artist that bust because it was inevitable, because they kept pushing and pushing. They got through whatever struggle they had to get through. But it is difficult, you know what I mean? It's still difficult to this day. Like I say, if the near future opportunities and things like that, if they presented themselves now, it would be it would definitely be something that will work for me. But like I said, I'm just pushing through. It ain't really no problem. Like, every day is a struggle. So like, it's just why you make it, you know?
So with all these setbacks Bermuda still has to offer, you think it's possible for someone to make it out of Bermuda without having
Definitely.
to leave here?
I think it's possible. I think it is possible. The way the world works now, it's so easy to get in contact with people just from like them noticing you, like, and all it takes is a phone call or a message or an email or a situation like that. You know what I mean? But it's how determined are you to make that happen, or are you gonna give up midway when it's hard, or like I said, when you do have to struggle for somebody to listen to you. But if you're putting enough into your music, it should speak for itself, and it should basically like work for itself, you know? So I think it's possible. It's definitely possible. Anything's possible, because there was a point where the biggest hub for music wasn't a big hub for music. Like, it grew to that. So who's to say another place can't grow into a musical hub? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's possible. I think it definitely is possible, especially in 2018 or 2019, whenever, you know?
Yeah.
We're just close to that age, like.
Yeah. Social media and all that type of stuff.
Like,
the internet made it easy.
Yeah, we're ready for that.
Let's talk about your writing process, because you're very analytical. We can hear it in your music. You're always sending a powerful message.
Yeah. I basically like to keep it that way, but to keep it that way I have to keep challenging myself, you know what I mean? I have to keep finding ways to stay on my toes and let life inspire me. Like, it's certain things I have to do, or people I have to be around, but the main thing is the challenge. Like I said, I might like a quote where I'm like, damn, I want to expand on that. Like, I want to write a song about that. And I want to stick to it, because I know there's a lot of people that can't do that. So that will make me pretty versatile in that area. But as far as keeping the power, it's just keeping inspired and keeping at it. You know what I mean? Because I got multiple books. I got plenty of books that are incomplete, books that are full. But it's just staying at it. You know what I mean? Learning, reading more. And I might see a quote when I'm reading, and I'm like, yo, I like that quote. I respect that quote. What I want to do now is expand on it and give my take on it. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I like music. I let music do that same thing, where it's just like I like a sample or a song, and I'm like, yo, I want to make a song like that. but still put my twist on it. So it's just about challenging myself, you know what I mean? That's what keeps me, like you said, analytical and powerful with the substance, you know? My writing is a form of expressment more than anything. That's probably something I haven't even mentioned yet.
So you've been building your buzz. What's next for you?
Basically, it's just to continue building, you know what I mean? Like, building is a process that shouldn't end until you're ready for it to end, you know what I mean? Or until the building is complete. But right now, it's not complete. Right now, I'm still, whatever it takes. The next one that's gonna be out, it's gonna be available on iTunes as well. Like, also, I didn't mention, got a few songs on iTunes, Vibe Dealer, Grand for Good, and Jungle Paradise. Those are the 3 that's available on iTunes. But the next one is Shoreline, featuring Sinead. And that one's gonna be we're gonna shoot it right here actually. I'm not gonna tell you where we're at, but we're gonna shoot it right here. Writing music, I'm on that every day. Using like nature as influences or my surroundings, because we take that for granted as Bermudians as well, you know? Just trying to meet the right people, just having the right energy to meet the right people and attract the right people that's gonna put me in positions. And basically just keep building, like keep striving, keep motivating people that are inspired by me as well. But it's no set plan like this is coming next. I don't like to move like that. I like to embrace the uncertainty of things and just, I know where it's gonna go because I already seen it. Like, this is what I'm working towards. Like, I'm not like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, that, like, why? Like, I don't need to live life like that.